Let's see what we get. Is this where we at? Auto aiming?
Once we get a fucking clown. Worse. It's an Oni. I did not know how you just got away with that.
You might want to heal because of the blood orbs if you want to use that. Or let me heal you because... Yeah, but he's going to get blood orbs and that's going to give him his power.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm just saying that because, the Rebecca isn't even on the gen, so...
So I think you should take that potential energy and go bring it to the main building right there. Dump it in there so we have another... And then start working that one.
Oh, good.
Oh man, I'm getting some really bad lag right now. That lag caused me to miss my skill check.
Me too.
Careful, I'm in the main building.
I just got off the hook. Leave me alone.
Just run past me.
I was trying to greet the pallet.
Now we're both down. No, maybe not. Smack him in the face with a pallet. It's going back for you. See, there's a 3 gen right there. The gen that you were on in the main building, the gen that we were first on, and then the gen that's by your body right now. That's the 3 gen that we need to break. But, you know, our teammates aren't doing work on it, so...
Nope.
That was a pain res. But Rebecca's just
he has,
lurking around.
From Mars too.
No, if he had that, all the gens would be blocked when he picked you up. He has pain resonance.
Oh, he has. Okay, yeah.
So he blew the gen that I was working on in the start. Like, we really need to push on these 3 gens. I don't know why she just left. You might want to leave. He's running this way.
And I'm death hook already.
Just keep running far away, I would say.
I was trying to see if that was a totem, because I do have inner.
There is one right in front of my hook.
Oh, I found one.
But, you know, our team's not working gen, so... He's headed for you, or he's proxying my hook, actually.
I'm just gonna inner heal.
Our team is just wasting time. Honestly,
I am not understanding why no one's doing gens, is my question.
Because they're stupid. They don't know how to play the game, I guess.
I just thought them being Resident Evil characters, they would be a lot better because they have to pay to play that game. Those,
No, people who play
survivors.
Resident Evil characters usually suck. Or is that Evil Dead fans? The Ashes.
It's Evil Dead. I think it's Ashes.
This is just stupid, man.
This is what I've been dealing with all night. Yeah, she sandbagged me. She literally just brought the killer and tried to sandbag me, and it fell.
Alright, I think I'm done. I'm not gonna try for gens anymore at this point.
Yeah, there's no point. Because now instead of hooking her, he's after me.
If one of those 3 gens does not get done, it's a losing battle anyway, so it doesn't matter if they're doing other gens. We probably should have just stayed that first gen that we were on. I thought we could try to get 2 out of it, but it backfired.
Must gonna leave her on hook. You gotta break up this
I'm
regen.
gonna sit here and do this gen right in front of her while she's on hook.
Going that way. Oh wait, never mind. I'm trying to break up this regen. I'm doing that gen that you were on over here. Fuck. I think it's tinkered. Yeah, that gen over there is almost done.
Which one?
The one with the uplift hook.
It's kind of too late to do gens right now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's 3 gens and 3 of you. It's impossible, so. She's literally healing herself with a med kit. I fed him a lot of his power though, but we had to get the gen done.
Was the one by the hill, did that have any progress? Or is
That's
it
like
this one?
literally 75. No, the one over
The main.
with the hook on the hill. Yeah, it's like 75 from me. Probably 75 now. It was like 95% done. Yeah, it's back to 50. He might have Call of the Brain.
He's chasing me right now. I'm taking him away from those other gens. He's going to her, I think, on the hill. Oh, it's almost done, that gen. She's gonna die for it. Here, let's go straight to your gen. Just go straight to yours.
Instead of committing, she just got off of it.
Well, she's dead. Where's the gen you had?
The one she was on. That hill.
You were on the same one?
I'm dead now, but the one on the hill with the hook on top.
Why are we all here?
I don't know.
Oh, you're dead. Okay, it's the other. It's
I'm dead. I got sandbagged.
Wait, where's the one that had all the progress? Someone had a lot of progress. I guess.
It's the one with the hill looking.
Yeah, but it was almost done, and now it's all the way regressed.
I think he has called the brine. Because he kicked it.
Might have been the pain res hook. Oh my goodness, dude, yeah. Why is she killing herself?
Well, you can get hatched, maybe.
It's dumb. These people are dumb.
Well, that gen
Oh
was
my goodness, how is this regress like this?
I'm thinking he has call the brine too. And pain res, because there's just no way.
Yeah, but Call of Brine requires him to kick it. He didn't kick that.
He kicked it. After I got hooked, my death hook, he kicked it.
Call of Brine doesn't even regress that much.
Okay, then yeah, maybe it's just the pain res.
It's pain res and something else. Eruption,
Maybe Jolt?
Jolt.
No, we wouldn't know if it was Jolt. An eruption and either call the brine, but when the gen was like 70, he kept coming around, so I'm wondering if he has tinkered, but I don't think he does.
Call of Brine was pretty much gutted. It's not that powerful anymore to regress like that.
I think it's just pain res at this point.
It's pain res with something else on top.
For the eruption. It's not Jolt because Jolt is glitched right now.
What do you mean it's glitched?
It makes you scream now with Jolt. Yeah, Jolt, as soon as someone's knocked nearby you, you would scream. You might slug for the 4K.
Clearly, he needs it.
He's a piece of shit. I guarantee he's a console player. What was the point in that?
I don't really know, but with these kinds of teammates, I'm just...
It's been like this all night for me.
I'm done.
He's literally BMing on hook. Now to figure out what the fuck we have.
Pop.
Pop, that's it. That would do it.
So he's hitting it, blowing it up with pain res, then we come by and tap it, and then he comes by and kicks it with pop, so he literally takes off like what, 30?
30%.
Well, probably like 50% of the gen right there.
Mine was like done 95%, and then I was trying to commit, and I was like, no, I have to move. And then he kicked it, and it went to like 75. It's the pop. And I stored a lot of potential energy into that. Like 40 seconds of potential energy. And it did nothing.
The number one Myers fan says, Ada, why did you not take a hit for me when you were on 0 hooks?
Yeah, I mean, she sandbagged me, Rebecca.
That's the Rebecca complaining about the Ada.
Oh.
The funny thing is I let the Rebecca go to second stage hook. I was right next to her, and I was like, no, I'm just going to work on the gen. Because none of you are working on gens. I was actually trying to get her before she went to second, but I was like a millisecond too late. Oh man, I can't play with these kind of players. They don't see that there's a 3 gen right there. The problem is he had kind of like a 4 gen, honestly. So even if we broke the 3 gen, which we finally did, there was still another 3 gen there.
I mean, there
Somewhat.
was main, and then there was the one by her hook, and then there was one by the cliff area. So he kind of had like a big regen over there. He just kept running around.
There were 4. There were 4 over there.
Yeah, there's 4. Is it the back? There's 4.
I don't know. That's why I run Deja Vu. It clearly shows you the gens that need to be done. And it gives you 6%.
Yeah. I haven't used Deja Vu since I started the game.
They buffed it. You should use it now.
Yeah.
Like potential energy, I don't think is that good, but I think that, like I said, it would be great if in fact you had like a 3 gen skull merchant or something that was like a really hard 3 gen to break up. Like that instance there, right? You could have went over to some gen near Shack, grabbed all your potential energy, and then brought it to the main building and dumped it in there. And maybe, you know, with that type of approach, we could have broken that 3 gen quicker.
Yeah, most definitely. But there was a lag too, so if I mess up on the skill check, I lose all that potential energy. So sometimes I just pour it into the gen I'm on.
Yeah, see, I don't think that perk is meant to pour it into the same gen, because like...
No, it's not. Typically.
Like if I look at it, right, it says after working on a generator for 8 uninterrupted seconds, press the active ability button to activate this perk. When the perk is active, repairing the generator will charge this perk instead of making the generator progress. For each 1.5% of generator repair, the perk will gain 1 token. So for every like 1.5% of the generator, you're only getting 1. So that's a less amount. And then you get up to 20 tokens. When this perk has at least 1 token and you're working on generator, you can press the active ability button to consume all the tokens instantly, make the generator progress 1% for each token. So you're literally losing, like the ratio is 1.5, 1.5 to 1. So for every 1.5, you're only gaining 1. So, and if you get hit, you lose it all. So the whole purpose of this perk, from what I gather, is to take the tokens from one generator, which is going to take you longer to get them, a little longer. But the idea is you bring them all to the generator that you need to get done. And supposing 2 people did that and dumped all this, you know, progress onto the important generator, then you can break up the 3 gen, which makes it, you know, the game winnable.
It actually helped the 3 gen once. I was in a Swift and me and someone else had potential energy. And this Huntress kept kicking that 1 gen, so we found another gen and we poured our 20 potential energy in there and popped, and we all got out because of it. So sometimes I do save it for the next gen. It just depends.
But the risk you run is getting from one gen to another. If you get hit on the way, you lose it all. So it's kind of like high risk, high reward. But if you can
Yeah.
get, and it really
I
only
have
makes sense
had
for breaking a
success.
3 gen.
I've had success running with the potential energies, no problem.
What other perks are you using?
I use boiled over and inner healing and unbreakable. I mean, unbreakable isn't always needed, but the amount of slugging I have encountered, it saves my team.
Do you
I
have
mean,
all the perks
technically,
unlocked?
most of them, yeah.
You should try my build and see how you like it.
I think I have all the perks you have actually.
So my build is distortion, because it keeps me off the radar so I can work on gens uninterrupted and I have to worry about, oh, do I have to get in a locker when somebody's getting hooked, or do I have to whatever, like what aura reading perks the killer has, you generally know what they are. You'll know right off the bat if they have lethal, you'll know if they have nowhere to hide, you'll know if they have barbecue, any aura reading you'll know.
Yeah, I could tell barbecue. I mean, as soon as they're hooked, it takes one, yeah. I've
So
ran distortion.
so it keeps you off the radar and you're way less likely to get targeted or caught off guard. Then I have sprint burst, so if the killer is coming, I can just get a huge head start and dash away. And not only that, but I don't use it like, I don't use sprint burst to where like, oh, I consume it and just walk around the map. I just run and use it, because you get so much value out of it. Even if you're just going from one gen to another, you get this sprint burst and you make all this distance really quickly. And even that alone is value, even if you're not in chase. And then I use windows, so I know like where the pallets and windows and things are, so I can try to get to a safer spot if I am in chase, or I try to chain this tile to that tile. And so when the killer comes on me, like I'm always trying to work on a gen, but if I know the killer's coming to me, I sprint burst away in the direction that's away from all the gens and away from where people need to be working on gens. And I try to go to the other side of the map, and I use windows to like find a path there. Like, oh, there's a pallet there, there's a window there, and I can like use it to navigate to the other side of the map. And the killer has one of two choices: either chase me and probably waste time, because if teammates are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, they should be on gens. So chase me across to the other side of the map, which is far away from where all the gens are that they want to protect, or drop chase with me. And if they drop chase with me, I just hop on another gen. So the fourth perk is Deja Vu, which shows you the important gens, which are the three closest together, and you get a 6% repair bonus. So you do them faster. So basically I have perk for like being stealthy, distortion. I have a perk for speed with sprint burst. I have a perk for windows with like looping and getting to safer places. And I have a perk for gens. And it's just like an all-round build that you pretty much always get value from. It's not like anything where, oh, it only works in the end game, or it only works under this situation.
World over has saved me a lot though. So many times I've wiggled out and they just like dropped me.
Well,
I've gotten a lot of value out of that perk.
Boilover generally works best when paired with things like tenacity and flip flop and all that stuff, and it works better on certain maps when you go to certain places. But honestly, like my approach is, I'm trying to not get caught and not get down and not get to the point where I need to wiggle out of the killer's grasp. Like, yeah, it happens. Obviously, I go down, I get hooked and stuff, but I'm trying to prevent that by having perks like this, where I'm like rushing gens with Deja Vu and I'm sprint bursting out of there, and I have windows so I know where the safer places are, and distortion keeps me off the radar. So I'm trying to be like preventative and like not always get down and have to worry about, like, because boil over and those kind of perks like unbreakable, they're like they're really good, but they can be situational, but they're more like when you've already lost, you're trying to like come back. You know, you've already been caught and you're already being carried. You're trying to wiggle out, or you've already slugged and now you're trying to unbreakable back up. Although I used to always run unbreakable before, but now I don't really run it anymore.
I started with the slugging. I had so much slugging in my Swifts, and we said someone needs to bring it, and I was the person who would bring it.
Well, first
So
of all, if you run distortion, you're way less likely to be targeted because they're not going to just get an aura read and come find you. You're going to be like more off the radar. And if you have sprint burst, you're going to have that advantage of like bursting away to where the killer's going to decide like, am I going to even waste my time chasing this person? They just dashed across the map. Like, is it even worth taking this chase? And maybe maybe they go for it. But if they go for it, you use windows, you get to far places, far away. And like I said, ideally your teammates are working gens, not in this recent cases that we're playing these games.
yeah,
And Deja Vu shows you like get on these gens. So let's say me and you are running Deja Vu. We know exactly what gens to go to. We work on them together and we have 12% speed boost right there. So you don't really need potential energy. You don't even really need prove thyself because you're going to get that 6% speed boost even when you're by yourself. And you're always going to have it if you're working on one of those gens.
that's true.
So you might not be used to it, but like so far this fits my play style. Like I'm not one of those people that can jump around from like different builds and be like, oh, now I'm just
I
going to
always
run.
change it up. I always change it up. The only two I really keep is Bold Over and Unbreakable, but the rest, like, I change it up a lot. Depending on what Swift I'm in. But Deja Vu, I should try it. I used to run Distortion too. In solo queue, I run Distortion.
Yeah, I think you should run Distortion, Deja Vu, possibly Windows and Sprint Burst. But like you might get in that situation where you're like, oh, I wish I had Boil Over, but whatever. But you'll get so much out of this that you'll be like, you'll be found less.
Personally, I don't
You'll be
think I need
chased less.
Windows. Personally, I think I can do without Windows if I wanted to keep Boiled Over. Because I've done it without it and it was fine.
Well, you don't need Windows, but I find that it helps because you don't know, like your teammates may have thrown pallets and stuff, and you don't know where
That's
those
true.
are. But with Windows, you see everything that's available, and it just, I don't know. I feel like it's one of the best Survivor perks. I would say Windows, Distortion, those are some of the best Survivor
Sprint Burst is
perks.
good. I used to run Sprint Burst, but my problem is I used it before I could get them. And if they have Fearmonger, like it's useless too. If you're like in the beginning of the match. That's why I personally don't run Sprint Bursts as much. I rather run Life because once the exhaustion is gone, I can life through a Volt. But
I don't know. I get
I
so
don't
much.
have an exhaustion perk.
I get so much out of Sprint Burst. I would say if you're not gonna run exhaustion perk, maybe do the whole made for this resilience type thing. But
Yeah.
but I don't know. I'm not good with that. That takes like a really good looper, I think, to get the most out of that. Made for this
Yeah.
resilience.
I've gotten a lot out of resilience, believe it or not. A lot of value out of resilience. It just depends.
Try
But I'm gonna try
distortion.
Deja Vu and see if I like it. I never ran it since the update.
Try distortion too. You'll
Yeah.
be like way less likely to just have a killer come at you out of nowhere.
I know, distortions really helped me from being tunneled. When I play Michaela, I use distortion. Killers hate Michaelas for some reason.